on an umpire radio, and it was the chief umpire, Steve Wrigley, announcing that Don Wilson was going to be penalised half a point for the previous match against Nikolai Shosted. And again, this was an incident. It'll be interesting to look at the onboard camera later on. We just kind of arrived at the tail end of it, but the suggestion is that Don Wilson might have hit the Danish boat hard enough to knock a guy overboard. So whatever the outcome was, Don Wilson ended up being penalised twice for that incident, but sounds like there might have been damage resulting from it also, which is typically where a half-point penalty would come from. Dobbs?
All right, well, thanks for that, Scotty. We're going to move back to the action in the Hardesty-Tunnicliffe match because it's really, really important. Tunnicliffe might be in trouble here, Annie.
Although she's right-away boat, she's lured boat. She's sliding sideways towards us. Hardesty cannot hit her because he's windward boat, but there she goes, back in control. She's done a good job there, keeping their mainsail in. That keeps the boat up and towards the wind. They let the front of the boat, the jib, luff, if you will, keep the main going. That keeps them from actually heading towards us. She doesn't want to come into the wall here. We actually have 1 whole minute left to go, and then she's tacking onto port. And whoa, that is going to be tough here. Big collision here. Oh my gosh. We're not sure why she tacked, because she had no right to do so, but look for a penalty flag to come up here right away.
I respectfully disagree, Annie, that, oh, you're kidding. Oh, there is going to be some words on that. I wanted to disagree with you because Bill Hardesty was positioning himself between Anna and the starting line. So he was very carefully staying between where Anna could get to. The only move for Anna to get back was to tack. She tried to tack. Bill is right of way, right? So yeah, anyway, so I think Bill was calibrating that move. and that just, it's amazing. So the only way that Bill Hardesty got that penalty was because he was altering course as a right-of-way boat.
That's right. Even though he has right away, he has to keep clear. He's got to give her an avenue to keep clear. And I'm guessing it was just too hard for him to try to even maneuver to bring it down and keep clear of her. But the umpires thought otherwise, and that's what counted. You know, another thing that could have happened, though, you know, if we go back to that, is she could have come over to the wall and asked for room, sea room. As long as you're going upwind on an upwind course and you're going to hit a wall, you can ask for sea room. But you have to ask, you have to put your arm out, you have to ask for room. There's rules that would have allowed her to actually tack where she did. So, you know, maybe it's the conditions, maybe it's they're under pressure, but, you know, we're watching mistakes being made by, again, some of the best people in the world. That start has gone off. Number 7 again is Hardesty, and he is in the lead against Tunnicliffe, but the foul went against him, and I'm sure he's shaking his head on that one. Meanwhile, boat number 4, Don Wilson, is entering the box, but his competition, who is Canfield number 6, very, very late, coming across in front of the rocks right now, just screaming. And this is a great opportunity for boat number 4 to keep boat number 6 out. What they're going to do is tack probably and get underneath boat number 6 and keep them from actually entering the box. They have to be able to enter on time. There they go. They're on starboard. And so is Wilson. Okay, well, Wilson wasn't able to quite keep him out there, probably because of all this wind. They came flying in. Now in control is Canfield. And let's see what Scotty has to say out here. They're right next to the committee boat, and they're not allowed to hit the committee boat. Hey, Scotty, they're right up there next to that committee boat. You want to fill us in now from what you're seeing?
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about this match, Annie, but I'm still not sure I believe what I saw in the last one. Did you guys see what I saw?
Yeah, well, we saw them come over here. We're not sure why Anna Tunnicliffe tacked when she did. She could have called for room.
I'm not reading you, so anyway, right in front of us we've got Canfield and Wilson, and Canfield marginally to windward, but both boats going backwards. probably doing 2 or 3 knots backwards right now. Wilson's starting to back his jib a little bit, but Canfield's done a nice job. He's actually about a boat length to leeward, and he's bailing out onto port. So I'd expect to see Don Wilson follow him here. Interesting though, from where they went head to wind, you can see how much leeward ground they gained very quickly, just by not doing anything, and the boat's just going backwards. We saw that in between races also when one of the boats had a breakdown, and they had no sails up, and they were going downwind bare poles. We reckon doing 4 or 5 knots. Annie?
Well, thanks for that, Scotty. Yeah, we agree. It's there's a lot of maneuvering that goes on here, and a lot of skill needed to keep the boats going the way you want them to go in these conditions. So coming around the top mark now, we've. So who's around the top first, Annie? It looks like boat number 7, Bill Hardesty. He's got a penalty on from that pre-start incident, and Anna Tunnicliffe just has to keep it close, I think. If Anna Tunnicliffe can keep it close enough to Bill Hardesty and prevent him from doing his penalty turn, then she has a chance of winning this match and be a spoiler for Bill. Now, we've got the official results here, and Hardesty is on 10 points. So he is currently in 3rd place and actually looks pretty good for getting into the top 4, depending on what happens with any tie breaks. And see, that's what happens is with Canfield and Sehested on 9 points, if Hardesty loses this match and the others go on 10, that could set up a nasty tie break to determine that 4th place slot.
That's right, and we have 15 seconds now between Wilson and Is that right? Canfield, sorry. Taylor Canfield on boat number 6. He is the sailing director here at the Chicago Match Race Center. And Don Wilson is the founder on boat number 4 of the Chicago Match Race Center. So they are off to a good start. Canfield, though, is not doing quite as well as Wilson. He's opted to tack, head over towards the right. They like the right-hand side of the course. But now we see boat number 7, Hardesty, rounding the bottom mark. Here they come, and that's going to bring 2 pairs together. We're going to have some mix-ups here. And as we've seen in the past, sometimes they start overlapping each other. They still have to look out for the other boats. Right behind them, Anna Tunnicliffe. And there's only about 1 boat length separation there. And yet Hardesty still carrying a yellow flag. So he's got to get a lot more than that out in front of her if he wants to be able to beat her. She has won both her matches today, and if she beats him, that is an upset. I mean, he's got good point standing, but it's all going to come down, and I love this, Dobbs. It's all going to come down to this race, this flight, if you will, today. Okay, they're signaling on the start that it's a red mark they want them to go around, looking up towards the breakwater where the waves are just crashing over. They're going to go around the top mark. It's going to be the red mark. And right now we have Buckley entering from the port on blue, and William Tiller, our leaderboard standing on boat number 8. They're doing the typical dial-up, luffing up. Right now, 8 is the giveaway boat. They're the windward boat. Number 2, the leeward boat, Buckley, with a little more speed on. And is Scotty ready to pipe in? Okay, let's get him.
All right, Scotty, what do you got out there in the pre-start? We got Will Tiller and Mike Buckley, boat 2 and boat 8. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm trying to watch the racing in between the impressively large waves crashing over the breakwall, Dobbs. There's got to be some good photos come out of it today. Buckley and Tiller sitting close to, kind of close hauled, a little bit eased sails, and this is a similar position to what we saw with Tunnicliffe and Hardesty. And maybe Buckley employing the same tactics that Anna Tunnicliffe did, which is to basically just slow the boats down, so they drift down to the wall and then ask for room to tack. But Will Tiller doing a nice job. He's kept his distance. He's quite a long way from Mike Buckley, so even if Buckley can tack, this will be a good one to watch. Dobbs?
Well, thanks for that, Scotty. Yeah, it's we're not really sure what happened with Tunnicliffe. We did not see her ask for room for sure. In this case, Mike Buckley did ask for water, did ask for room off the wall, and did it properly. So therefore, this is a green flag. Of course, they didn't T-bone each other either.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that's how it's done. You have to go right up to the wall, ask for room, and then the other boat has to say, you tack or they tack with you. I mean, it's basically, they have to avoid you once you've asked for it. But you have to ask for it. You can't just assume it. And what we saw in that other match race was, interestingly enough, almost a double mistake. Both boats made the mistake. The umpire went for the call, and Hardesty is paying the price. He's still got that yellow flag up there. Meanwhile, this last group that's going to start after Tiller and Buckley will be Jury on boat number 5 and Sehested on boat number 1. And they're just... Let's go up the track. Yeah, let's go up the track. There's a lot going on up there. Go ahead, Dobbs.
Well, I'm just I'm thinking this is going to be important because Bill Hardesty, we're trying to pick out. There's 2 umpire boats and another match going, and it looks like yellow flag's still up. Bill Hardesty's got to do his penalty turn. Anna Tunnicliffe is trailing in boat number 3. I tell you what, Annie, I think Anna might be too far back and that Bill might be able to whip off this penalty turn.
I think you're right. I think because these other 2 boats got in there, it's making it harder for her to do it. I think I see a luff right now. Let's get Scotty to talk to if there's a luff going on. If you look out towards the breakwater again, there's a luffing match going on between Canfield and Wilson. Canfield on boat number 6 and Wilson on boat number 4. 4 still in the lead over here. And off they go, boat number 2 and boat number 8. That's Buckley on 2 and William Tiller, the leaderboard, on boat number 8. Is he ready to talk?
Yeah, that's right. We're going to try to bring in our friend Scotty Dixon from out on the water. Scotty, looks like Bill Hardesty right now is going to have enough room to do that penalty turn.
Yep, he's going for it right now, Dobbs, and he's tacked around. He's next to the committee boat and easing away. He's going to have to ease the vang, but he's got it. Where's the umpire boat? There's a lot of boats out here, Dobbs, but it looked like a pretty clear exoneration to me, and flag down on the umpire boat, so that's a win to Bill Hardesty.
Yeah, thanks for that. You know what would look dangerous to me out there on the transit of the finish line is it's blowing so hard that when he went head to wind, he was starting to slide sideways, and after the tack, almost looked like he wasn't going to get to a 90-degree course before sliding over the finish line. So really, really close.
Yeah, I was looking at exactly the same thing, Dobbs. You know, as I was saying before, these boats kind of fly downwind when they're powered up, but the second you throw the tiller around and stick them head to wind and they hit a couple of waves, they lose their momentum and they start going sideways or even backwards very quickly, Dobbs.
Well, copy that, mate. We're looking actually in our final match of this flight between Nikolai Sested and Laurie Jury. Now, Sested, this is a really important match for him. Jury, I think, is through, but Sested is on the cusp here. We're going to look through our official results, but what do you see from down the water?
Where's your thing that she brought you?
Well, again, looks like the port tank boat, which was Laurie Jury, was able to cross. I'm not sure which way he went, but he got out of jail. And again, all the teams not at all afraid to reach out to Michigan, as we say. They are on port jibe, heading out towards the breakwall Laurie Jury now tacks back. Nikolai Shested tacks to Lewis. Doesn't have his mane trimmed on though. How much time to go now? We've got 2:20 to go. Laurie Jury tacks back. There's a green flag. I'm not sure who asked for the penalty, but we didn't see any incident here. So Laurie Jury coming back. Here's a Port Starboard coming up. I don't think the Danes are going to be able to keep clear. And there's a flag by Jury.
Oh!
Oh, T-bone, massive T-bone. And wow, that was, you can't get any bigger than that. It'll be interesting to see who gets penalised because Jury hit him hard. And Danes now picking up the pieces. It looks like, the Danes got penalised. If there's any damage resulting from that, I wouldn't be surprised if Jury gets penalised points from that one. And looks like the Danes are done sailing. They've got their red protest flag out, and for some reason they can't tack. They looks like they might have lost steerage. So absolute body slam into the canvas by Laurie Jury. Not sure he intended to hit them that hard, but that was the biggest collision we've seen so far, Dobbs.
Well, as you know, Scotty, even though you're a right-of-way boat, you are obliged to avoid contact. So sometimes the umpires will actually, penalize the right-of-way boat for not trying to avoid contact. But on the other hand, it looked like Sestad had plenty of time on port tack.
Yeah, well, that situation developing for me really was a ticking bomb for the Danes. I called the incident actually about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 seconds before it happened. I think Jury tacked onto starboard first, and the Danes proceeded to tack onto port, and Jury lined them up very early. The Danes did nothing, but I think I saw Laurie Jury reaching for the flag. So he was waving the flag at the point of impact. So I wouldn't be surprised to see. Wouldn't be surprised to see the New Zealand team again deducted points for that collision. Back to you, Dobbs.
Well, copy that. Scotty, can you give us an idea of what, if any, damage is on there? We're watching Nikolai Sestad and his Danish team just limping upwind. They definitely look like they're very wounded.
They're quitting.
They're dropping out.
Yeah, we're just cruising in for a closer look, Dobbs. But the suggestion was it's a pretty big chunk out of the starboard side of the boat. There is a black flag that has just been hoisted, and I believe that black flag might be for Laurie Jury. Coming into the finish, it's Don Wilson ahead with a penalty to do. Taylor Canfield trying to go over the top. Sorry, it's Taylor that has a penalty to do. And Don Wilson dives for the finish. So, but yeah, there was definitely a black flag that came up from Steve Wrigley, chief umpire, following Shostad, and the only reason for them to hoist a black flag, if Jury's still racing, would be to disqualify Laurie Jury. So high drama out here, Dobbs.
Actually, I think with the black flag up and the yellow flag, what they're doing is they're calling the match because clearly Sehested is dropping out, and so in order to terminate the match, they need to use the black flag. But that black flag up with yellow meant that Sehested is out for the day. So, but with the red flag, of course, they may have a hearing on this. Well, they certainly will. But meanwhile, Don Wilson has won that close match there with Taylor Canfield, so that's another big one.
2 wins for him today out of 3.
And Wilson is got 2 wins for the day. Annie?
That's right. You know, Wilson was having a tough time yesterday, and it looks like today more of his conditions and his cruise conditions, because they're doing a great job out there in these blustery winds. It's blowing a good solid 25 knots out here. For those of you who are watching on the internet, we're just trying to hold on to our papers and our bags and things, and Mother Duck here and her baby ducks going by, just trying not to drown. But again, we point out this red flag. That means that Nikolai is certainly not happy, and there's twofold. I mean, that was a huge collision. It was a port starboard. As we pointed out, right away boat must give the other boat an avenue to keep clear, and it's harder to do it in these conditions. But what they want is they want a hearing. They don't want to get eliminated from the semifinals. They were right on the edge of making it with 9 points. They absolutely needed this win to get into the top 4. And with that bad break, bad luck, or just bad choices, they really want to see if they can have a chance to have a redress in this, or have something go their way. We'll find out for sure more from the jury, from the umpires, between the end of this round robin 2 and before we go into the semifinals, because we want to know what happened. We'll share it with you as soon as we find out. Meanwhile, at the top of the course, we have Tiller on boat number 8, trailing behind Buckley on boat number 2. Tiller, again, is the New Zealander who's ahead on standings, and Mike Buckley is the defending champion.
He is, but he's also the lowest seed.
He's also got the worst record right now. So we've been watching the upsets happen all day today, haven't we, Dobbs?
Well, that's right. Mike Buckley, defending champion at this event, but he's not a regular on the match race circuit. He came in saying, "Oh, I'm just going to be really relaxed and you know, take it easy, see how it comes." Well, he did pretty well. He qualified to get in the top 8. He's now beating the top seed in the event. It's still a close match. Mike Buckley, though, on 6 points, is close, but can't quite get into the top 4. So, you know, he's doing this for pride, and certainly, you know, knocking out the 24th place Kiwi team in the 24th place in the world. The Kiwi team of Will Tiller is an amazing accomplishment if he's able to maintain that lead. They're on their final run now, coming downwind, wing on wing. I don't know if I'm crazy, but it almost feels like the breeze has backed off just a little. What do you think, Annie?
I don't think you're crazy. I do feel like it's knocked back down to about 20 knots, maybe even to 18 in some of the what we call lulls. Hard to even call these a lull, but we had some big clouds. We have these systems come through within the systems, and sometimes we just get knocked down almost up here in front of the pier. For those of you who have just walked to the end of the pier, this is the Chicago Match Race Center's Grade 2 Invitational. We have 8 teams here today that are competing for the semifinals and then the finals that will commence very, very shortly. We have this last team of 2, last group of 2 coming towards the finish line now. Very, very close, but no cigar, as we like to say. We have Tiller and Buckley finishing now, and Buckley, boat number 2, is the upset. This is a great race for them. They weren't going to make it into the semifinals, but this is a nice way to end their series against the best right now. William Tiller from New Zealand, who was at the leaderboard, and now there could be more of a tie. We'll let you know shortly. William Tiller absolutely in the finals. He has 11 points. Some of the other boats very, very close. Taylor Canfield, Lori Jury, Nikolai Sehested, and Bill Hardesty. The big question is right now, with Nikolai Sehested being actually taken out of that race before they even got to start. They were down there having their pre-start dance, maneuvering, and one huge collision, the largest we've seen so far. According to Scotty, he was right there on the water next to it. In fact, let's give Scotty a call again and find out while we're going through the scores. Is this the radio? We're going to give... Oh, I'm sorry. We just found out Scotty has come to shore. So we're going to take a short break, go through the scoring. Please don't go away if you're out here. It's going to get even better, if you can imagine. For Annie Gardner, Dobbs Davis, and for Scotty Dixon, we're out here on the end of Navy Pier, just absolutely loving these conditions here. This is what sailors wait for. Thank you for coming, and stand by. We'll be racing until 4 p.m.